host Cowboy in Spade.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Bourbon and Boxing with two of the best in the game. There ain't no shame, and we ain't no lames. We'll say it again, my guy. There ain't no bourbon tonight, but I do got some coffee and some doobies. You know what I
We
mean?
do got that boxing talk for y'all.
Hell yeah. We sure do. With a lot of boxing. This is episode 91, everybody. Episode 91 of Bourbon and Boxing, man. We're going to recap the big fights that happened last week. Not a lot going on in boxing this week, but I'll tell you what, there's enough from last week to fill an entire show on what we watched. We got a little bit of news for you. Not a lot of news going on either, but we do got some news that we can share with you guys. And of course, you know, something I did forget on here, and you'll have to remind me. We talk about that Clarissa Shields fight. I did not put it on our list. I feel ashamed, but we'll get to that later down on the list. And man, we got to jump into it. I mean, right into it, my guy. Welcome to Bourbon and Boxing, everybody. Thank you guys for joining us.
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody?
That's it. My guy Spade is back. We missed Spade last week. He had hurt his hand, man. I knew he was going to need some rest. I understood it, you know, and I was like, man, we got to get the show up. And I know my dude was injured. He's back with us today. Definitely missed last week for sure. But my guy, we watched this fight. David Benavidez defeated David Morrell by unanimous decision to retain the regular WBC title and gain the regular WBA titles, and now the new mandatory for the winner of Benavidez and Bivol. What did you think, man? Absolutely. Like, I was the whole card. We're gonna get down to the rest of that card, but it was a great night of boxing for boxing.
Yes,
Especially after a slow January. I mean, January was fucking agonizing. Really, there wasn't a lot to talk about. Yeah, so now we finally got a full card, and it lived up to absolutely everything I thought. But the David Benavidez versus David Morrell fight, give me what your thoughts were on that fight, man. I think we both obviously David Benavidez obviously wins that fight easily. I think.
Yeah.
But tell me what your thoughts were on it, man.
I feel like it was a great fight for real. I mean, David Morrell, he been calling for the fight, so he got what he wanted. You know what I'm saying? I feel like at the beginning, like between rounds 1 through 4, he was hanging, he was doing good,
Mm-hmm.
but he started gassing out. Like
Yeah.
I seen he started gassing out. Them body shots start start taking a toll on him. He wanted somebody to go just head to head, which
Yeah.
David
David,
Benavidez will give you that. He'll
yeah.
go blow for blow with you. He don't give a fuck. If
Yep.
you hurt him or whatever, he's still coming. Man, that boy like a pit bull, I ain't gonna lie. When he hurt him, when he clipped him, and he still was coming, like you gonna have to kill me in here.
You talking
I
the
say,
fourth
oh yeah.
round? Fourth
I
round when
say,
he hit him
yeah.
with the hook.
Yeah, I
Bam,
say, oh
in the fourth
yeah.
round. Yep.
He
That was
he
that was
showed
really probably the only round I gave Morrell. I'm not gonna lie, I had a 117-109, an absolute fucking blowout. And I'm not saying Morrell didn't hold his ground, he held his ground, but
yeah.
man, I mean,
Yeah.
go ahead with it. And then
Nah, you good. But yeah, I just felt like David, man, you gonna have to kill him in there, bro. Like he one of them, you gonna have to. I don't even think a knockdown gonna stop him. You gonna really have to like put him out, like, like you gonna have to. He's not. I love how he fight, bro. I just love how he fight. He an amazing fighter. Shout out to David Morrell though.
yep,
That was a good fight for him. You know what I mean, I feel like it boosted his fan base a little bit more.
yeah.
Like he could take a lot from that fight now. You know what I mean? And,
And you
and
saw a
learn
lot of
off of it.
potential, man. A lot of
Yeah,
potential in David Morrell.
yeah,
Very vicious. He's got that heavy punch, and you know what
yeah,
I mean. And we see that, but he's just got to add a little bit. If he was to learn anything from this, go back and watch it and see what David Benavidez did. He he was so precise. He wasn't just throwing punches. He was landing those punches when he wanted to land them in the way he wanted to land them, controlling the entire fight, backing him, making Morrell fight. But nobody makes Morrell fight backwards. He's
yeah,
being the aggressor. He's taking those heavy punches to the jaw, even when he was getting countered. It wasn't fair. Like you said, even when he got hit with that nasty hook in the fourth round, he just kept his head, took that,
yeah,
stumbled a little bit, and then went right
yeah,
back, pow, 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 and threw a
yeah.
3 or 4 punch combination on it.
That was
And
a
I'm like,
real
oh,
monster.
shit.
That was some real monster shit, bro. Like that
Yeah,
was some real
yeah.
monster. Like, and
He
then
he Good.
dude. That's my boy, man. He just how he fight. Like you gonna have to kill. Like this one person I say battle tested. Like you gonna have to really kill him in here, bro.
Yeah.
He ain't letting you just. It ain't gonna be a night. I feel like he gonna have a bad night, bro. I ain't gonna lie
Yeah.
to you.
And I
Like
feel
he
like
got.
the 168 prepared him for those battles because the 168 definitely doesn't get enough credit for the talent level there. Because
Yeah,
Canelo is so head above a lot of those guys that they get overlooked as being talented fighters like Caleb Plant and
yeah,
guys like Andrew, Boo Boo Andrew.
yeah,
These guys are more talented than what people think they are, and they have skills. And he made it. He made all them fights look easy with these guys. And then he came in with a guy like I call him the Cuban Boogeyman. How you like that nickname I have for him? The Monster versus Cuban Boogeyman. I like that. But
yeah,
everybody knows
yeah,
you can always debunk the Boogeyman. You can't debunk the monster, baby. The
yeah.
monster's a monster, you know.
That was
But
that was a great fight though, man. It
yeah,
lived up to the hype though, cause David Morrell, you gonna have to kill him in there too though, even if he get
yeah,
tired.
yeah.
I can
And he
see
had
that,
some heavy
but
punches. He showed he's
but
got a jaw, man. Like
yeah,
for
I
sure.
I, I feel like David Pryor though is like it kind of went down. Like I don't know, like,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I don't really
because
think he had power. I think his shit is like it come in bunches too, off the
yeah,
combinations. Like you let him get four of them motherfuckers off, it's your ass.
yeah.
And I was liking that uppercut too he was throwing, bro.
Yeah,
The
he was
uppercut,
landing those. He was landing them,
yeah,
and I mean, I like Morrell standing his ground. He didn't get knocked out, but I thought he was just against a guy who was a better opponent, the better boxer. And Benavidez, if he was the showcase of anybody, I'm pretty sure, and we'll talk about this one later too. Canelo might take a step back. Then what's the chances of him definitely fighting this guy now after seeing that? Like maybe if let's say he was to get the winner of Better Be or Bourbon and he was to lose to one of those guys, then I think Canelo might say, "Hey, I'll fight him then." But right now, looking at the David Benavidez we saw Saturday, Canelo don't want that. He don't
I
want them
bet,
problems.
but it's so crazy because even on like our first episodes, I been said that like man, he gonna walk him down, bro. Like he ain't about
Yeah.
to play with him. Canelo gonna
But
have to
here's
try
the
to
thing:
kill him.
Canelo's a lot better with the counters, and I think he has more power than Morrell does. So that's something David would be more tested with the counters from Canelo because you're going to walk Canelo down, but Canelo's always precise and he
Yeah,
very
he
good at
precise than a
countering guys.
motherfucker. Yeah,
It wouldn't it would be a better fight than the Morrell fight, I think.
but
But I mean,
you can counter a motherfucker that's throwing one punch and double jabs and shit, but you can't. It's hard to counter. It's hard to counter a motherfucker that's throwing punches in all different combinations and different
yeah,
angles. You ain't
yeah.
just countering a motherfucker like that. And with pressure that's coming towards you that don't like going backwards for real,
Hmm.
man. Listen, boy, that's gonna be a bust pressure. The pipe. That's gonna be whoever pipes bust. What it say? I can't even think. Pressure bust pipes. That's gonna be one of
Oh
them
yeah,
type fights.
yeah, yeah,
That's gonna be one of
yeah.
them type fights.
Yeah, I felt like, DB was like Picasso on
It seemed
Saturday,
like
man.
they. It seemed like
He-
David Benavidez. He gets stronger as the fight go on, but it seemed like he was kind of
man,
tired too
his
towards the end of the
engine.
round.
Well, yeah, because he was taking. I would honestly, David Morrell has probably been his toughest fight, and saying that he still dominated him.
Yeah,
But I
I
would
can
have
say
to
that.
say David Morrell wore him down more. That 11th
Yeah.
round knockdown, I didn't really see that as a knockdown. Yeah, a punch
Nah,
landed,
that
but
wasn't
if
no
you look at,
knockdown.
he trips over his foot and he wasn't
Yeah,
even hurt from that. So that was more of a tripping over the foot. And then the only reason they call it a knockdown is
because his
because he
hands,
lands
because
a
his
punch
gloves, his
and his
gloves,
glove
his
hits
gloves touch
it.
the
Yeah,
ground. Yeah.
yeah. So they weren't going to overturn that. But what do you think about the hit after the bell by David Benav or by Morrell? Well, after the bell. And it got me on my feet, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" Like he hit him well after the bell. I thought that was the only part of the fight that I was like, "Okay, that was pretty dirty." But I love the way the ref handled it.
Shit,
Took that point.
he was just he lost it for a minute. He forgot where he was at for a minute because he was stirring
Yeah,
his ass up. He like, hold
yeah,
on, what the fuck? Oh, hold
yeah,
on.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
I was
how
like,
that
that was
was.
like a Rocky Four type moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, wow, and I thought David Benavidez was gonna go back at him. I was like, oh shit, we're gonna have a DQ if this shit gets out of hand. But And that was a good punch, solid punch that he landed on
Hell
David
yeah,
Benavidez.
that
Now,
was a solid
Benavidez said
punch.
it didn't hurt him, but I watched him wobble back to that corner a little bit after that punch. So I think it hurt him more than what he thought. But hey, he was able to take that punch, man. I was super impressed with him. But with what you saw from him, as calculated as we saw him that he was, it was. Now, let's remember against a guy like David Morrell, who doesn't have a lot of pro fights. That was his 12th pro fight. What could he do? Could he beat either Better Beeve or Bivol in your opinion? Could he beat
Who?
those guys or David Benavidez? Do you think that
This is
the
gonna this
winner of
gonna
one, let's say
I
Better
I
Beeve
I
won?
gotta I gotta damn I don't know if I'm gonna be able to see this fight because I work. Oh no, I am gonna be able to see that fight. I gotta really see them again. I gotta see them like sit down and see. I gotta really just like see them fight, and I'll be able to really give you an honest opinion. I think they might be a little bit stronger than him. That's the only
Yeah,
thing I'm afraid about. Like, well, if he
yeah.
fight, he said he used to beat the shit out of Bivol.
Yeah,
So
I've heard that in the training. I feel like Bivol would be the better fight because he moves more, and the Better Beeve and David Benavidez, their style is very similar. Aggressive, come
yeah,
forward,
ain't nobody.
engines.
Yeah,
So those two are just gonna fucking like who's gonna win the battle of aggression with those two because they fight almost exactly the same. I would say that would be the I think Better Beeve has that like we were talking the power. So David would
yeah,
definitely have to probably get his power down a little bit more against a guy like Better Beeve. I think a guy like Bivol might challenge his boxing IQ and ability
yeah,
because Bivol is a
yeah,
great boxer, moves around a
yeah.
lot, very calculated in the ring. But him
They
and Better Beeve
strong.
is like,
They stronger. Like I just feel
yeah,
like that weight. Like I don't know, man. I don't really like him at that weight. I don't know. That's just me. I don't really
that's
like him
I me
at
me
that
also
weight.
and yeah, because we really didn't have it was a 175. They both guys come in at 175, but they were two previous 168 guys. So
Yeah,
both guys that were in the same division moving up. And I agree with you. I don't feel like his power is as good at 175 as it was at 168. So that going up against two heavy natural 175ers I
yeah,
think I would like to see him because who knows when, even if you get the winner, who knows when that fight's going to happen? One of those guys who win that fight might want to take some more time off, and it might not happen till fall. So it might give David Benavidez a chance to fight another fight at 175. You know what I mean? To
yeah.
say,
I
okay,
just be
I'll take another
wondering like
fight.
what kind type of conditioning he be doing for his body. Like,
Who's
do
that?
he just
Uh,
do a lot of cardio and like weights or something? David, cause like I be feeling like you should be ripped up. Like when you
yeah,
conditioning, like you should be ripped, bro. Like lose some
he's
weight.
he said he had a eating issue when he was a kid. And like he used to box a lot when he was younger. And then when his mom and dad split up, his dad and brother moved out to California. He decided to stay home with his mom and
Yeah,
wherever they lived at that time. Decided to stay with his mom. He said, so I didn't box for like 2 years. And he's like, and I ate fucking Taco Bell and fucking ho-hos. And he's like,
yeah,
I got fucking big. He's like, I got fat. He was like, and then my dad had me come out to California. I decided to go out to California, my dad and brother and he was like, I was always considered the best one in the family. You know what I mean? Like out of the box that I had the most potential. And he's like, he went out there and they're like, this is the son you said that's your best fighter. Like this dude's a gordito, you know,
yeah,
a little chubby guy. He had some weight. So I think like where he's all at, he's not the most physical dude. He doesn't seem to have a lot of muscle mass. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And I don't know if you can like some guys just I mean, you look at Navarrete, you know what I mean? Tall, lanky, skinny guy
yeah.
who's not well conditioned, you know what I mean? And he never comes in the best way, but David always seems to come in good shape. Even if he doesn't look like he's in the best shape, he
Yeah, yeah,
still
yeah,
comes
yeah.
in
That's
and
just
he
like
gets stronger as the fight goes on.
yeah,
So,
that's just like Kobe. Kobe ain't had that muscle, but they said he was strong as hell. I just wonder that because it might be something he don't do. Like some people in boxing, they don't lift weights. They cardio, probably, I'm
mhm,
saying, do light weights and because it ain't about you being strong. But I just be
yeah.
wondering, like, because them guys is kind of like do we need to put on some muscle mass for them? You get what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly.
cause
Is he going to need to beef
cause
it up to
yeah,
go
cause
against
they
those
kind of
guys?
beat like that. Cause the dude he fought at 170 fight before this fight, he was like, you could see like
He was ripped.
yeah, like, and
He was
then when you
ripped.
look at them other two, they kind of like wide, like and ripped up,
Yeah.
like. So I be
Yeah.
kind of I just be thinking like, damn. But I done seen some 175 pounders, like the one that Bivol fought before he fought Benavidez. He
Uh,
was he was slim as hell, like, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
that
So
Arthur, something Arthur,
yeah,
something Arthur. I can't. He was out of England. Yeah. I
yeah,
wasn't super impressed with that fight. Actually, that was the one that I was like, kind of made me iffy. But then he came back and fought another guy after that. If I might be the guy you're thinking about, where he knocked him down, first
yeah,
knockout he
yeah,
had in like
yeah,
7 years. Okay,
yeah,
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 yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I'm
yeah.
talking about. Yeah, him.
Yeah, I can't remember who that guy was. If I'm right, he was some kind of
Cause he,
fill-in or
cause
something
the
like that.
dude started, yeah, he started off decent,
Mm. And then it
then
just, yeah,
Bivol just looked like he was. I'm talking about Bivol if I ain't mistaken,
yep,
but yeah,
yep,
he
yep,
he
yeah,
he just looked too big for him, like body
yeah.
mass wise, like
Yeah, and just started boxing his ears off at a
yeah,
point, and then knocked
yeah.
him down and got
Once
his
I
first
went back to the
KO.
fight, it was over with. Yeah, I'm like, damn.
Yeah, yeah, it didn't last long, and I wasn't super
Yeah,
impressed with the fight. But Bivol, man, like that's the thing is like here's the thing also that I was thinking too. If this fight, David fights either of these guys, Better Beef or Bivol, I think that fight has to happen in the U.S. But Better Beef or Bivol they're not selling like David Benavidez sold 12,000 plus at that stadium. That's the most he's ever sold, and he's
yeah,
starting to rise up. Believe it or not, Better Beef and Bivol aren't selling 5,000 seats.
for real.
Like they're not like
I
we
think
know
it's the
them.
weight class though, man. I'm
It could
telling you,
be, and yeah,
sometimes the weight classes, cause I'm like that as a boxing fan. It's just some weight classes I just don't want to entertain. Like
well, there's so many of them
I wouldn't
too.
even
Like,
entertain 175 if it weren't for David Benavidez. To be for real, I'm gonna watch Bivol and Benavidez because they on the court with Shakur. Like,
yeah,
but for real, I wouldn't be watching them. Like, I don't really, cause
yeah, and it's two really good fighters though.
yeah, that class ain't really like, oh yeah, we got 5, 6 fighters in here that need to
Exactly.
fight
You
each
got
other.
two fighters up there, and if it
Yeah,
wasn't for David Morrell and David Benavidez, nobody's hearing about that division really. And you're right.
my
You're
point
absolutely right on that.
exactly. My point
Yeah,
exactly.
absolutely right. That it's just a division that's not very well paid attention to. So you got a guy like David Benavidez. He's the ticket seller out of these guys. Out of all three of these guys, he's the guy that's going to sell them more tickets. So I think you have to have that fight in the U.S. in Las Vegas or New York or somewhere like that in the
Yeah,
U.S. That fight has to be made. But
yeah,
let's jump into the undercard, man. This wasn't just a great main event, guys. The entire undercard was absolutely amazing, man. I would, and this is crazy for me to say, and you're going to think I'm crazy. I thought the most boring fight out of, and it really wasn't any boring fights, but this fight, Stephen Fulton versus Brandon Figueroa, I thought was the most like docile fight, I guess you could say, because
yeah.
Stephen Fulton just dominated the whole fight. Like it was the least entertaining of all the fights, and Stephen Fulton put on a hell of a fucking performance.
Hell
So
yeah.
that's not me taking anything away from what he did, especially at 126 going up, fighting at 126 and just dominated Brandon Figueroa. These guys fought a couple years ago, I think it was,
Yeah,
and they had a hell of a fight. But it looks like at that point, Stephen Fulton is just head above this guy at this point. Put on a hell of a show. Had his work boots on. I mean, my dude came in his work boots on and he put the work in. He put the
yeah,
work in, bro.
yeah.
Work.
He
He
did
had the
that.
jorts and the motherfucking work boots. Like he was,
Yeah,
he was ready. Like you knew it.
he
If dude
did.
come in like that, you better be ready. He gonna put the work on your ass.
Yeah. Yeah, he did
But
his
the
thing.
funny thing is I didn't know. Do you know those was real Tims?
Yeah, they was real. I was listening to him and he got them customized. They wasn't
Okay.
real, but he got them customized as real
Yeah.
Tim.
See. Okay. Because when I was looking at him in the ring, it looked customized. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
they
Like,
got
okay,
they was boots, but he get boxing shoes. But dude, he said because I was listening to Sean Porter's, he's like, yeah, they got them customized like real boot, like real Tim.
okay, because I was about to say you a beast. You go in there some real Tims, and you put the work on. Like,
They
dude,
looked good though. They
yeah,
looked like his boxing outfit. That was different. I liked that.
yeah. Well, what
He
was your thoughts on that fight, man? What would you think overall? on the
Shit, I
Stephen Fulton
I feel like
Figueroa.
he looked it good. Like he looked it good. I'm a fan. And you know who I love to see him fight? I know I
I
be
would
saying
say
I be saying throwing his name around a little bit too much.
I'd
I
say maybe Raymond Ford.
Nah, Raymond Ford 130. He ain't
I'd
going
love
back
to
there,
see him
bro.
come back at 126 and fight. But who
Now
you thinking? Who you thinking?
Ray Foreman, he said he don't feel right at his like he be feeling. He said that when he beat the Nakataka, whatever dude was when he got
Nick
that
Ball
belt.
when he lost to Nick Ball.
Nah, not Nick Ball before that. He in that fight, the one when he fought the Japanese dude, the one he
Oh,
dropped
okay,
on.
yeah.
Yeah, he was saying he felt weak, like his legs weren't right. But they
Okay,
made him fight Nick Ball. That was, he got paid for that fight. But he was already saying he wanted to move up to 130 because he ain't feel as strong.
all
But
right,
and I get what he's saying though. I get what he's saying because boy, you could lose some weight and one day you just like the other
yep,
day, I lost them pounds and I was like, woo, like I had to take the day off, like you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Because you
Yeah,
got
it's, yeah. You're gonna have to show. I don't know. I'm over here like, yeah, I don't know. I don't work out. I don't have a
yeah.
motherfucking clue, bro. I'm over here like, yeah, sure, yeah, I know. Yeah, I felt weak.
Yeah,
nah,
but but
nah.
yeah, I feel like him and Ben Rodriguez would be a good fight.
126 is so high though for Bam to
What is
come up to.
Bam? I keep
Bam,
thinking Bam.
Bam goes from 112 to 118, the highest, if I'm correct. The
Oh,
highest
but
he's
you know
fought is
I don't even
118.
watch them little classes, so
That
when I
like
say him, I be
yeah.
thinking,
That's why
damn.
I said in a way would be close enough at 122. But for Bam to fight, we already saw Fulton fight in a way that didn't go well at all.
Yeah,
So I'm pretty sure that fight won't happen again. But Bam fighting in a way is a definitely possibility. The weight's too much for me with the Fulton and him. But
oh yeah,
I you know
I ain't know he was that little. I thought he was like
yeah, he's
130.
small, bro. He's small. Like he originally is a 112 dude, and then he jumped up
He a
between he was
bad
jumping
motherfucker.
between 112, 115, and then he was
Yeah,
jumping
little
115 to
bad motherfucker
118.
boy.
But he goes back, whoever has belts, and between the 112 and 118, he just go and take their
Yeah.
belt, and what I mean, and whoop their ass. But yeah, I mean, I don't know who would be next for Stephen Fulton, to be honest. I liked the performance that he put on. He definitely had a good comeback. The Inouye loss, a lot of people wrote him off. That's how boxing is, man. You lose a fight,
Yeah, that's
and then
so
everybody's like, "Oh, you a
corny.
bum? You ain't know." Nah, man, you gotta
It's
like, don't
corny,
give up. Don't
man.
ever give up on these guys, man. You're gonna catch guys who take a loss, and they're gonna give you some good fights, man. It's all about the heart. But I feel like
Now
he's made a
nobody
good
say nothing
comeback.
about Pacquiao though, bro.
Nah, getting knocked out cold, like they had to use
I ain't
Epsom
heard
salt
no.
on the
They
dude.
wanted him to beat
Like,
Floyd so bad. They never said, oh, they ain't never write him off, nothing.
yeah, that's
When
that's
it,
why I have a hard time with a lot of them other boxing sites, man. They get on there and they just talk about Pacquiao, Mayweather, and I'm like, bleh. Like those two dudes. Now a fight that I thought was a hell of a fight, man. Isaac Pitbull Cruz defeated Angel Ferreira via
mm-hmm.
unanimous decision. I thought that was a hell of a fight there, and we talked about it. Should Pitbull Cruz go back to 135? His power is not transferring to the one, and he looks amazing. But I think a couple things. Number one, his power isn't transferring up to 140. He seems to be outsized by a lot of guys, and Angel Ferreira was a smaller guy too at 140. So his power's not transferring. And number two, he needs to get with Mike Tyson, and he needs to perfect the fucking peekaboo. I mean,
Yeah, cause he get
some
hit.
he's
He
got
get
that
hit. But he
10.
got a
Damn.
10 like a motherfucker.
Yeah, got a great 10, but if he could perfect that Tyson peekaboo and a guy like Tyson could show him how to really perfect it, I think that could be a great arsenal to his because the way he comes in like he does, very similar to the way I always called him the Mexican Mike Tyson because of
Yeah.
his stance and his aggression and stuff like that. His power isn't transferred to 140. Should he go back
I don't
down to 135? And what do you think about the fight overall before I skip past the whole fight, and the
I feel like
performance?
he ain't really have that much power though. I just feel like his punches come in bunches. Like he got that if he hit you with so many punches he can hurt you. I ain't really feel like he got that one power punch that's gonna put you out. I never thought that. Like when I first seen him and he was beating the shit out of dude in the corner, like I don't even know. This when I first seen him. This was like during COVID, and I was like, damn. And it's so crazy because I'm like, damn, little dude would be a good fight with him and Tank in the future. But he ended up getting the fight early anyway. But I feel like his punch power comes with like, hey, there's so many people that got that one punch. Like everybody don't got that, and he don't got that. He
Yeah,
got that.
yeah.
If he hits you a combination, like gotta come in combination. But I know a good fight full pit bull I want to see at
Bless
140.
you, brother.
Thank you. If he don't go back to 135, and I love to see him fight Frank Martin. Let's test Frank Martin and see
Oh,
where he
I'd love to
really
see
at.
him fight Frank Martin. I think that would be a very good fight. That's actually a
Yeah,
great fight, I would think. You
yeah,
think Frank Martin at 140? Because
yeah,
he's talked
140.
about
Yeah,
140. Yeah,
yep, yep,
absolutely. I think
yep.
that would be a great fight because they're both around that same size length. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that
Yeah,
would be an
that's
incredible fight. Yeah, I'd love to see that actually. You guys heard that here first on Bourbon and Boxing for our guy, Big Spade, Isaac Pitbull
love it.
Cruz with
Yeah,
Frank Martin. Who wouldn't want to see that one? That would be a hell of a fucking fight. And
that'd
they
be
could
the
make that
love,
happen too, can't
and
they?
that could be a co main event.
Yeah. Yeah, so I
Cause
think
one
that would be
thing
a hell
about
of a fight.
Pitbull, you gonna have to. He just like Benavidez. Bruh, I ain't seen nobody drop him yet. He
No,
got,
and he
bruh,
gets hit, man. He gets hit
bruh.
flush too. Like he
He one of
walks
them.
through punches, and I expected at one point. I thought he was going to go down, like at one point, like because he did stumble at one point in that fight, and
Yeah,
that's the first time I actually seen him stumble. Me personally, that I've actually seen him stunt like kind of off his game a little bit because he got hit
yeah,
and he kind of went sideways a little bit. And I was like, "Oh shit, is he about to go down?" I thought he was going to go down, but then he just
yeah.
recovered like that, bro, and it just went right
And
back doing what he does.
he one of them motherfuckers too. You gonna have to kill him.
Now,
You
do you
gonna have,
think he would rather have the Frank Martin fight, or he would rather get a get back with Venezuela if he wins his fight coming up? Do you think he would rather have that rematch against him, or he would rather go against a guy like Frank Martin?
nah, that Frank. I mean, Frank Martin. Cause Swella, we want to see him move on to the next top guy. We don't want to see y'all keep fighting the dudes y'all already beat up. That shit
Yeah.
getting
Well,
old.
yeah. Well, he
Cause
lost to Jose. Remember
I
in
know
his
that's
last
what I'm
fight.
saying. I want if Jose was to lose, probably yeah. But if he was to win, hell no, we want to see you fight
Okay,
again.
so you want to see Jose continue to go
Yeah,
forward
we
and
don't want.
get the
Yeah, we don't.
opportunity he deserves. I like that. I
I don't
like
like
that a
that.
lot, my dude.
Yeah, I don't like that backward shit. Hell no.
Yeah, yeah. Go forward, give him opportunities to get that belt. I thought, like I said, man, it was a great fight. I loved what I saw from Isaac Pitbull Cruz. I thought it was one of the best fights of the night. That I actually the first fight on the card might have been the best, and it was like not even on the card. It was like the last. It might have been the last fight on the prelims going into the main card. Uh,
Yeah.
was freaking God, what was these guys' name? Oliver and Coleo. I'm probably butchering these fucking guys' names, but they fought 10 rounds. And Cooley, whatever his name was, he's like this young, undefeated fighter. And then this vet fighter's kind of giving him issues the whole fight. And if the 10th round doesn't happen, he probably loses the fight. 10th round comes and then Coolio lands some nice, beautiful body shots and just ends the fucking fight.
How he look?
But he looked pretty good.
No,
Like
who you talking about? Like how he look?
it was the prelim before the Jesus Ramos fight on there. It was right before that one. It was like Olivio, and Kala. It was like Cull something,
You
and
talking
two
about
dudes that
Terrell Martin?
no, not Carmel Martin. No, no, no.
No,
I
not
know who.
Camille.
No,
Oh,
no, no.
okay.
I actually missed that fight. I'd like you to actually clue me in on
Yeah,
that one. What did you think? I didn't know
I
he
ain't
was.
see it. I missed it too. I ain't know he was
Yeah, because
fighting.
I heard he was gonna be. I didn't know he was gonna be on this card. Like I don't
Yeah,
know how I didn't put it together because I know they said he was gonna be fighting, and I
yeah.
thought it was mid-February, and then boom, you're like, nah, he fought tonight, and then I saw a thing on
I
my
mean,
site, and
we
I'm like,
always
damn.
sometimes miss the prelims because it's like I don't know how we be missing them, but we be missing them
Well,
sometimes.
sometimes they start too early, and when you
Early,
got a
yeah,
family and
yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that, you know
And
what
I
I'm
be
saying?
having
Like
to
we,
ask you, like, man, what time the fights come on? Like, what?
yeah, because I'll catch the prelims as much as I can. But, I can't like it's hard to watch, 10 hours of boxing when you got kids running
Yeah,
around. You gotta cook dinners. They want to go out, they
yeah,
want to do shit. So, like, oh, you just gonna watch boxing all day, huh? No, no,
yeah.
no. No, we're gonna go do something. So uh, but yeah, I thought that like that would sucks that we missed him. But the other fight on there that was a pretty good fight, actually was one-sided fight. Jesus Ramos defeats
I
Jeffrey.
didn't get to see this either, man.
This one was a one-sided fight. Ramos Jr. He just walked all over Rosario the entire fight. That wasn't even close. It was the Jesus Ramos Jr. that everybody has talked about, the dominant fighter that we've seen in the past and stuff like that. And I don't know, Rosario, I've seen a couple times fight, but he just was overmatched in this one. And Jesus Ramos got a nice little win under his belt. So
Man,
puts his name in
Rosario,
that.
I don't
What is
know.
it?
I mean, I kind of liked the Ramos, but he had lost. Who did he lose to? He lost
He
to
just
somebody.
previously lost, if I'm correct.
Oh,
If
he
I'm
had lost to did he lose to who I be naming all the way? The Hammer, damn, what's his name? I can't even
Lubin,
think it. Yeah, didn't he lose to Lubin?
I don't know. I can't remember the last time I saw Lubin fight. Last time Lubin was supposed to fight was Tim Tszyu, right? And then he couldn't make the weight or some shit. And that was
I
the
don't know,
biggest
but
thing with Lubin.
I think
I can't.
I think they was saying he beat Ramos though. He
Yeah,
beat
I had to
Ramos.
look.
I
Look,
know
I'm
that was his
checking on the
last
box
fight.
rack.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think that was
'cause
his
I
last fight.
remember I thought he was coming off of a loss.
Cause Rosario 154. They 154. Cause
Yeah, yeah,
Rosario fought what's your name from here? Um um Jamonte Clark. He fought Jamonte Clark from here. And he the one that beat what's her name? He was a champ, an undisputed champ for like a split second. He took the belts from what's her name from Philly. I can't think of his name.
yeah. His loss is the Erickson Lubin. Erickson
Yeah,
Lubin. He did
yeah,
lose to
yeah,
him.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Unanimous
yeah.
decision. Lost to Erickson Luba, and then he had beaten Johan Gonzalez in his last
Okay,
fight before beating Rosario today.
okay.
But yeah, he looked really good. Honestly, he looked pretty dominant. So he's definitely somebody to watch out for at that 154. Maybe get a rematch against Lubin, but like you said, you don't like to see
I
those guys
like
go backward. Plus, I think
I like
Lubin's supposed to be going up to 160, if I'm hearing correct,
yeah,
because he
I
can't
like
really
Ramos though.
maintain.
I like
Yeah.
Ramos.
Yeah, yeah, I like him a lot. A little bit of boxing news and rumors going on right now. Well, it's not. This one is a confirmed thing. Canelo Alvarez has signed a 4-fight mega deal with TurkiAl-sheikh, which puts the Canelo fight, which is one of the guaranteed only fight that's really been announced on there, is the Crawford fight that will happen September 13th. Uh,
So is this still happening?
yeah, yeah. They now here's the thing I didn't know. Also, TurkiAl-sheikh bought Ring Magazine. Do you know that?
I heard about it. Yep.
Yeah, so he bought Ring Magazine. So now he has a platform where he can just throw shit out there. So I don't know what the issue was just a couple days ago when they said, "Hey, this fight's not going to happen," and then now they're like, "Oh yeah, the fight's back on. It's back on." You know what I mean? I think it was just the deal Canelo wanting his money. Canelo's probably like, "Hey, this is what you're going to pay me, and
Yeah.
if you don't pay me, then fuck it, nothing happens." So,
Right.
but my question is on this: do you buy or sell that in that 4-fight deal we will see David Benavidez versus Canelo Alvarez? Buy or sell?
I don't know, man. Oh no, why you ask me that, man? Damn, I'm hoping so. I don't know though. I never know, bro. I do not know. I can't even. I hope so. I hope so. I don't even for sure we're gonna get the Terrence Crawford. I done seen he got a full
Yeah.
fight deal, but now they done fucked me up because I'm having plans to go to that fight or at least be in Vegas that day.
Are they
So
going to have that in Vegas though? Because I'm hearing
that's
was
what I'm
Turkey.
saying. Where's it
Well,
gonna be?
Canelo does control that. I don't see Canelo fighting over there. Maybe one of the 4 fights he will, but not against Crawford. That's got to be in the U.S.
Man, if that shit ain't in the US, man, I'll be pissed, man.
Oh, actually,
I ain't gonna
I'm
lie.
actually what I'm hearing is actually I was reading an article earlier in the week that they're building some kind of new stadium over there, and they want that Canelo Crawford fight to be in that new stadium they're building over there. So that may not be in the U.S.
Oh, oh
I
my
think that'd be
God.
silly, man. I think, especially, well, number one, I don't think Canelo is going to take a fight outside of the U.S. During Cinco de Mayo, I guess that's what it is. In September, Cinco de Mayo are one of the Mexican holidays that he fights on. I can't remember which Mexican Independent Day is different than Cinco de Mayo, but it's one of those days in September. So that would be. I don't think he would alienate his fans who he knows they're gonna pack the stadium to come watch him fight. Like if you got a $90,000 or 90,000 seat stadium, they're gonna fill that stadium for Canelo. So that
Yeah.
you'd be stupid to pass that kind of money. I don't care if it's TurkiAl-sheikh thinks he's got all the oil money in the world. That fight with Crawford and him in Las Vegas, very close to Oklahoma, where Crawford is from, around, at least around that region where his fan base would be able to
Nah, he ain't
travel.
from Oklahoma.
He
Crawford
is
from
from Oklahoma. Crawford is, right?
uh-uh. He
Where's
from
he from? I thought it was.
Nebraska, Wisconsin. He
Oh,
from
okay, yeah, one of
He
those
from Omaha. He from
Omaha.
Omaha.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Omaha, as Peyton Manning used to say.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
said they asked Peyton. They said, "What does Omaha mean?" He said, "Absolutely nothing." We just
Yeah.
said
Yeah.
it. We just said it to make them think it meant something. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna buy that David Benavidez Canelo fight happens. I'm gonna buy it because I think if you're TurkiAl-sheikh and you're gonna give Canelo the money he wants and he can give him all the money he wants, you're gonna say, I want the David Benavidez fight, even if it's not this year, because we know Canelo usually fights about twice a year uh, on the Mexican holidays. So even if it's not this year, by next May, I'm gonna predict that we get that fight by next May. I would predict that we get that fight. So 2026 next May, I would predict that one of the 4 fights that Canelo has signed, I'm going to buy that it's going to be David Benavidez because David Benavidez is about to be a free agent. Also, you know that, right?
But I seen
Yeah.
like 4 names on there, 3 different names already. I seen Jake
Well,
Paul.
nah, and
Is
God,
he
the
really
only
fighting
reason
Jake Paul?
I want to see him fight Jake Paul, I know he's going to fucking murder the kid. Like he's going to hit that motherfucker so hard he'll never want to box again. But I don't want to
I
see it
like
because
Jake
Jake
Paul though.
Paul,
He a hustling motherfucker, man.
man, yeah,
I don't like him
props to
for
his
like
hustle, but
boxing wise. I'm saying hustle wise though. He
yeah,
got a
he's a motherfucking hustler. I get that, man.
he a
I'd love to
hustler.
be like, yeah, give me a quarter of what he's got. I'll be happy. But
Yeah.
my question is that this is what I would do if you're Jake Paul, you really want to test yourself, all right? Fight one of the last guys that David Morrell and David Benavidez fought. Fight one of those guys, the hot rod guy or the other guy at 175, where you claim to fight at, and let's see how you hold up against actual fucking 175 guys. And then maybe you could put him in the rank. If he was to take out one of those guys, which I don't see him doing, because I can tell you now, that little side stance that he does, he's going to get caught by
Yeah.
anybody who's got any kind of fucking IQ. You know what I mean? Like that stance he's got is a goofy footed ass stance, and just he's going to get caught by somebody.
Yeah, he could fight me, shit.
Yeah, I'd fight him. Fuck. I'd fight him. Jake Paul, you want to fight? Player?
Yeah. I need to
Hey,
start
me.
troll. I need to troll him like he trolled everybody else.
Yeah, exactly. Just start trolling his ass. That's
Yeah.
it.
He
But
gonna
yeah,
take his
other
ass to
news
the
going on right now. Teofimo Lopez versus Richard Hitchens in the talks. Nothing is confirmed. What do you think the likelihood that this fight actually happens? Teo seems to say he wants to fight this guy. He wants to fight that guy. He's going to fight this guy, but then he doesn't actually fight anybody. So do you think the Richard Hitchens fights happens, and who would you favor in that fight?
I ain't fucking with Teo no more. No, Richard. Teo been off me as a fan. He did too much talking.
Yeah. Yeah, I like
And
seeing guys
and
fight and talk less.
I'm so biased. When you call out Bud, well, you know he at 154 here, he's about to come to 147 and fight you. You just talking.
Well, yeah, calling out Boots, calling out, all these names, but he's just not fighting. Like you want to make the fights. I mean, but at the same time, look, I know his deal should be up soon with Top Rank or already over. I'm not for sure what's going on there. I thought for sure he was already going to be a free agent unless he re-signed with Top Rank. And then the uncertainty with Top Rank, if they're even going to re-sign with ESPN midsummer when the contract's up, all that kind of stuff. So I don't know, man. I hate seeing guys who I feel like have talent enough to be in there fighting, and then they're only fighting like once a year, once every other year. I can't. I know Teo fought. Did Teo fight last year? He did fight last year, right? And it was right around the beginning of the year, and it just you don't even remember it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Was it the Ortiz? Was it the Ortiz fight, the last fight we saw him in, or the Josh Taylor fight? was the last fight. Because I know he dominated Taylor, but he didn't, the Ortiz fight was a complete joke from Ortiz and himself, just horrible boxing on both.
Wasn't it Clackett? I thought it was Clackett when his face was swollen up.
Who was it? Oh, yeah, his last fight was Clackett. That's right. And that was summertime, I think, actually. Summertime of last year. That's right. That is right. I forgot about that one. But, yeah, I think I'd like to see him fight Hitchens. I think it'd be a good fight overall.
Yeah,
I can't
that'd be
say
a
who
good
I'd
fight.
favor in the fight,
I love to
but
see it.
I think he's got to make it happen. Stop talking. Jake Paul was under the assumption he was going to get a fight with Canelo in May. I mean, there's not a lot of news to talk about when we even mention Jake Paul on here as much as we have already. And to me, I don't know why he thinks he can just jump the line because he's got money and like he's just going to get the fight with one of the best in boxing. And I get it. You sell tickets, you get money, all that bullshit. But to me, like you get that money from the silly fights you set up. You're not like you can claim you're a boxer, but to me, and people are like, well, he's got boxing names on his rent. I mean, if you want to consider Tommy Fury a great boxer, which we all know he's not, and he didn't win that fight, number one, and then you want to consider a 60-something-year-old Mike Tyson, who we clearly saw hold back in his fight against Jake Paul, and that was just a fight that was set up from the beginning. Dude's like, I'm gonna go take your 20 million and fucking walk out with not a scratch on me. The easiest 20 million Mike ever made in his whole fucking life.
Right. Man, he gave it all to his wife.
What he did to it?
Said. He gave it all to his wife.
Damn. Okay, Mike. I see you, Mike.
He said, yeah, I seen the interview or so. He said he gonna give it.
Don't we all do that though? Every time we get a paycheck, every time we get paid, they just be like, "Hey, what up?" And you be like, "Damn, where you come out of?"
You gotta pay these taxes. What?
Yeah. We got some notable fights on the card this week. You got Shakan Pitters versus Daniel Blenda dos Santos. That was I think earlier today. That fight happened or late tonight, one of the two. It's in Sheffield, in the UK over in Sheffield. And then you got Derek. Tomorrow you're going to get Derek Chisora. The dinosaurs, I call him, the guy's older than shit, but he just keeps getting there fighting. Going up against Otto Wallen. That's going to be 1:30 p.m. early in the day over here in the U.S. TNT Sports. The Zone co-op will be co-oping the fight in the live arena in Manchester, UK. So United Kingdom. And then you're also going to get the card in the U.S. tomorrow is going to be Ramon Cardenas versus Brian Acosta, February 8th, 7:30 p.m. Pro Box TV will be hosting that in Bowie Center in Techport, San Antonio, Texas. Yeah. It's going to be a good. That's the one I'll probably be tuning into. I'll check out the Derek Chisora fight. I like Derek Chisora. Like to see what Otto Wallen can do after taking that whooping from Anthony Joshua, see how he bounces back. But outside of that, guys, ain't much more to talk about tonight. All the news is over. We got you everything you needed. You don't even need to tune into another channel. Your week is all filled up. You saw what you had to see in boxing. Why tune in anywhere else but here in Bourbon and Boxing? And then my guy Spade, take us out, my dude. Tell them what they should do. Tell them how they can help.
No, I'm going to tell them what they going to do. I'm going to tell them what they going to do this time around. Y'all going to like, subscribe, comment, lick your finger, stick it, and make it stick.
That's right.
That's it.
One click,
all we need
make it stick.
Subscribe, like, comment, man. That's it.
That's it.
Big dog.
That's it. Big dog sound. Y'all heard it here first on Bourbon and Boxing episode 91, man. Thank you guys for joining us. And you guys have a great weekend. Peace out.
Peace.